And to the Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope your cafecito always comes room temperature. I hope every sorujito that you go to take a bite of is like hollow when you expect cheese. I hope that every time you try to use that crazy illegal lane that Puerto Ricans use when there's a tapón, I hope every time you do that, you get a little nail in your tire.
Across the country, a powerful shift is unfolding. Latino voters who once backed Trump are now voicing deep regret, questioning promises, policies, and the movement they supported. In this video, you'll hear real stories from those rethinking it all. Listen closely. Their voices could reshape everything.
Toda mi familia votó por Trump.
Your whole family voted for Trump. Lo apoyaba a Trump durante su campaña. Did you support him?
Yo estoy fuera.
You're outside of it. You can't vote. Pero te sientes decepcionada. Do you feel disappointed, deceived, engañada?
Me siento mal porque sé que ellos creían en él.
You feel
Me
bad
siento mal.
because the rest of them believed it.
Like so many other Venezuelans, she cheered when Donald Trump was elected.
Sí, yo creo que...
Yes. I believe there is a large community of Venezuelans who did.
What she didn't expect is for those policies to throw her life in limbo. Carol is one of hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan immigrants who were granted temporary protected status, or TPS, under the Biden administration. President Trump wiped that away for all Venezuelans. Were you surprised?
Sí, totalmente. Yes, totally. Practically the same day he took office, he went against Venezuelans.
All of my life, 50 years I've been here, I've never been harassed by Border Patrol on this side of the border like this. This is outrageous. Why are we not allowed to be here? Because we're not white? Our skin doesn't match. We didn't think anything of it. We're an American citizens. We're on U.S. soil. Why should we be afraid?
George and his wife Esmeralda say an unmarked SUV started following them and pulled them over. They say Border Patrol agents first approached wearing masks.
So the reason why we're stopping you is because you need U-turns and there's a known alien out in the area.
He told the agents where they were going and that they did not consent to any search.
If you have a dentist appointment, it probably wasn't the best decision to be out in the middle of nowhere.
No, we have the right to travel anywhere we want to travel.
You're absolutely right, you do. And I actually have the right and authority to stop you.
The couple sat in their car as the agents brought a canine.
It's called reasonable suspicion.
Do you think that they had reasonable suspicion to stop you and search your vehicle?
Not at all. Not at all.
George and Esmeralda both voted for the first time in 2020 and again in 2024 for President Donald Trump. As they see his immigration crackdown.
Do you regret your vote?
Yes, I do. Very much so. I feel shame, guilt, and anger at the same time.
I don't ever want to hear that Trump isn't racist, because what's happening right now is 1,000% about color. He's targeting innocent Latinos and deporting them, tearing families apart, even deporting Americans. He's deported American children with cancer without their medical supplies. On top of that, he's deporting people that are actually in the legal process of becoming Americans.
Video shows one agent pushing Brian up against the wall and demanding he prove his citizenship.
I truly believe I was a target because of my race. I believe I was racially profiled.
Yes, you were.
I believe I was attacked because I was walking while brown.
Brian says he voted for Trump
because I believe he ran on lies. He ran on lies. He lied to many of us.
President Trump said that he was going to do this. He said mass deportations. He said this is part of his plan.
Yeah, he said criminals. We were all manipulated. We were all brainwashed. And now look at us. We are all suffering because of it. And I feel guilty.
The federal administration's actions to denaturalize and invalidate the citizenship of millions of Americans. This effort is being done so that the federal government can ultimately deport naturalized U.S. citizens. Now more than ever, we must stand up for those who are being targeted, attacked, and taken out of our communities. Conducting denaturalization proceedings solely via civil litigation is potentially an unconstitutional violation of due process rights. The Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
I find it hilarious that when I bring up the fact that I'm an immigrant and a DACA recipient to people who support deportation and everything Donald Trump is trying to impose on this country, that they're always like, but we're not talking about you. Then who the fuck are you talking about?
Mexico sends its people. They're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. Who's number one with Hispanics? Trump.
Yes, you told us
Trump.
that earlier.
I love the Mexican people in their spirit, but the country of Mexico is killing us.
You know what bothers me about this whole ICE situation? Is the fact that they only label it as the Latino culture. Like, the Latino culture ain't the only people that come in here illegal. So why is it only the Latino culture that's being prosecuted for it? Or being talked about it? You get me? Then you got the racist white people talking about go back to your country. Okay, Karen, last time I checked, your DNA is from Scotland or fucking Ireland or something like that. You feel me? Why don't you go back to your country? Exactly. There's illegals everywhere in all nationalities, so why just the Latino culture?
I was convinced that voting for Trump was for the economy or against crime, when in reality I was supporting a man and a movement that dehumanizes people. He basically built his platform on targeting immigrants, spreading hate, and I feel that it would be immoral and inhumane to let a man who is suffering, who is terminally ill, spend what little time he has left in pain and isolation. Please don't let him die in a cell. Please don't let his final memories be of those of pain and isolation. The American flag stands for compassion, kindness, liberty, and justice for all. But we're all human, and today I'm asking for one human act of compassion to please let my dad come home. Why did I vote the way I did? I've spent the last few days reflecting, and I feel like I came through some sort of revelation, or like blindfolds were ripped off my eyes. I started seeing things differently. I questioned my beliefs, my choices, and my role in all of it. I started to realize that it wasn't just this one choice I made. It was kind of a accumulation of choices I've been making for years. Like, for example, when I had my first daughter, I never taught her Spanish because I didn't care to have her learn Spanish.
Desperate, terrified. You believed the president when he said he was going to deport criminals.
Now, Elena is left behind with her daughter, 7-month-old son, and Ariel's 70-year-old grandmother, who has been a U.S. citizen for years. Together, facing a reality they never imagined.
Vincent, you voted for Donald Trump?
Yes, I did.
He thought the Trump administration was going to focus solely on deporting criminals. It seems immigration officials, he says, are just trying to meet quotas now. 6 Nicaraguan men who on May 27th were detained along US 1 in Sugarloaf Key on their way to a job. Their immigration attorney says it should not have happened because 5 of the 6 have their paperwork in order with pending asylum cases. Vincent Scardina is the owner of the roofing company where they worked. He's owned it 37 years.
You become their friends, just not an employer, but a friend.
Angustiada, desesperada y decepcionada. Así dice estar esta madre cubana Lillian Pais luego de que su esposo fuera deportado por la administración del presidente Trump, a quien ella le dio su voto.
Creía que quizás con el mandato del presidente, las personas que eran delincuentes eran los que se iban a ir.
Yeah, those flags stayed up. This family still supports Donald Trump despite their mom being detained.
I am in so much shock with the amount of Latinos for Trump that are now coming out saying we feel so backstabbed, we feel so betrayed, we feel used now that our families are being deported even though they're not criminals. You didn't feel that way when Donald Trump was talking about the Mexican families that he was going to be deporting. You didn't feel that way when he spoke about other minority groups that he was going to be deporting. But now that it's affecting your family, your uncle, your cousin, now you want to cry about it? Now you want to cry crocodile tears? Girlfriend, I don't feel bad for you.
When I started worrying is when I started seeing my community members, my followers, my people sharing videos of a mother picking up a kid from a school and getting arrested. Like, why?
He was very clear about his plan. He said openly, wanted to run the biggest deportation campaign in history.
The Republican platform promises to launch the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
There's 55 million Hispanic Americans who are U.S. citizens. We pay our taxes. We came here the right way. They don't want to be lumped in with cartel members and all sorts of crazy guys that are coming across the border.
I think the major shock for the Latino community right now is that pretty much if you don't have papers, you are committing a crime. But if I'm a construction worker, I'm working every day. If I'm cleaning bathrooms, like, how am I a criminal?
Do you think it's hypocritical?
I think it makes no sense. Like, what the administration is saying is that everyone comes a criminal.
Because the crime is being here.
Exactly.
Without.
But that's not my definition of criminal.
Now I can empathize and sympathize
with the black community. I've never been able to do that before because I would hear them say things like, oh, we walk down the street and we get profiled and, cops will just suddenly stop and frisk or whatever.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Just because of the color of their skin. And I always thought it's a little bit of a stretch. It feels like a little bit of a stretch.
These personal stories reveal deeper concerns about identity, family, and the real-world impact of political decisions. Many are reflecting on how Trump policies that they voted for are shaping their lives and communities. Their voices highlight a critical moment of reassessment for the Latino community in America.
You voted for Trump. How do you feel now?
Horrible. Horrible.
What did you vote for?
I voted for change, but I didn't vote for this change.
Su nombre. Daisy Salvador. Daisy, ¿usted está aquí por su esposo? Por mi esposo que fue detenido ahora injustamente.
Latinos for Trump, first of all, you guys are embarrassing. I've always said it, and I stand by that. It's very embarrassing. You guys are weak-minded. You guys are. You couldn't just, get through that. At one point, you guys were made fun of for being Latino, and then you guys just kind of caved in. You were like, I don't want to be Latino anymore. And that's why you guys hate yourselves, and I don't know what to tell you.
They took my wife.
This man who wished not to be identified says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything's good. He just came in and snatched her. It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing. I get a chance to talk to you, man. Yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
This is so crazy that we voted for Trump. We trust him with the words that he promised us Latinos.
And a large portion of them are now finding out. And guess what? We don't fucking care because we fucking told them. Now they're going on the news, giving all these interviews and sob stories, or coming on this app.
As I was saying, I love the Hispanics. I love them. I love Hispanics, and they're hard workers, and boy, are they entrepreneurial, and they're great people, and they are warm. They are warm. Sometimes they're too warm, you want to know the truth. They are warm people. But you have to turn out the record numbers that we need in order to really demand a better future, and you have to go out, you have to vote. We want to win.
Latinos, you can scream MAGA all you want, vote red, only speak English, even call ICE yourself, but you will never be the exception. You will never be white, and it's not going to stop you from getting racially profiled. Who said that? Who said that?
As a Christian Latina, les voy a decir por qué voté for Trump, why I voted for Trump. I'm not a racist nor a whitewash. I literally have family immigrants, so it was a hard decision to do. It was literally a sacrifice, but guess what?
People like Fernanda, yeah, those are the biggest scums out there, and you should keep an eye out for those because those are vendepatrias. These people either have family members who are undocumented or they themselves were once undocumented, and as soon as they got papers, se creen de la sangre azul. In her video, she mentions that she has family members who are immigrants and that it was a tough decision, but that she made the right one because obedience to God comes first. Girlfriend, God would have told you to not freaking pick that person, okay?
Do I regret voting for Donald Trump? 100,000 times yes. The mass deportation that is happening, I mean, the unconstitutional rights that are happening, all of the AI bills that are being signed right now, I mean, I can go on and on. The banning of different countries from coming into America, that was my last straw. And I think a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump also say the same thing.
I have to say, I'm not going to lie. It absolutely baffles me that you voted for someone and you never looked at his first term. If you did look into his first term before voting for him, you would see that all the things that you were complaining about, he enacted in his first term. You would also see that he ran on the exact things that you're complaining about.
The Latinos that voted for Trump because of the economy. I'm sorry, I tried. How's it going? ¿Cómo les va? Hold on. Like, seriously, have you made more money?
To the Latinos for Trump, looks like you guys turned out to be those weird family members that protected and covered up for the weird pedophile uncles. Gross. At least now we know who you are.
For those that don't know, the Supreme Court ruled Monday for the Trump administration and agreed U.S. immigration agents may stop and detain anyone they suspect in the U.S. illegally based on little more than working at a gas station, at a restaurant, at a car wash, speaking Spanish, or having brown skin. That is all they need. If you speak Spanish or have brown skin, you are in danger. My family's in danger. And we have to step up. We have to be the change. We have to spread the word. Make sure to keep your family as safe as you can. Let them be informed. And that's the best that we can do.
I have so many Hispanic haters down my DM calling me names, saying I have no heart, I'm not empathetic with the mass deportations. First of all, I voted for that. But second of all, I want to clarify something. I want to take you guys back to 2017 when President Trump offered DACA a pathway to citizenship on 3 separate occasions, okay? All he said was, give me money for my border wall and more border security. And I'll include a pathway for over 1.2 million people, contingent that they do have a criminal record, have jobs, etc.
Latinos for Trump. The biggest joke in history. When will Latinas figure it out that white proximity is not white when it comes to white supremacy? And you will not benefit the same the way white people do. You will not get those benefits the same at all. You won't even get close to it. They tricked you. Joke's on you.
Show me your hand. Show me your hand. Lights. All right, okay. Lights. I'm not tricked. I'm not resisting. Where's the rest? He's not resisting. My medicine. And I got bad shoulder. He's got I have a surgery on the surgery. Get up. Get up. Get up. I got bad shoulder.
Watch his shoulder.
On that side of the wall.
Who else is back here? Where's he at? Where's your son at? I know my son. We don't have a son. We don't have a son. It's just these two here. There's no son. I don't have a son. I have my 2 daughters. My boyfriend is in the room. He's asleep in the room in the very back.
There's a boyfriend sleeping in the back.
He's in the back room.
Which one? The back room. Back room.
On the right hand side.
Why don't you guys sit down? Look at this guy. Look at this guy. This is what you call tremendo come pinga. This guy, he come here the other day. He crossed the border illegally. He come here and then he a Trump support. Yeah. He benefited from all the Democratic policy and then he support Trump. All right. News flash for you, man. Donald J. Trump says that anybody that comes here legally is a criminal. So in the Republican eyes, you are a criminal. You are the first one on the list, man. And you're telling me that if I'm going to cry? No. I might have cried when I lost my parents. I might have cried when my kids were born. I may cry when I walk my daughter down the aisle. But you know when I'm not going to cry? You know when, right? When they deport your ass.
And together, we will make America great again.
Ay, 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 por Dios. Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Repítelo. Ay, 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 por Dios. Ay, por Dios. Yo voy a votar por Donald Trump. Mi gente sale a votar sin miedo a la.
Bueno, yo tenía puesto el parol y tenía la esperanza de llegar a los Estados Unidos porque tengo mi hija allí y solo Dios sabe la necesidad que tengo. Hace 4 años que se fue y quería verla. Para mí es muy duro. Para mí es muy duro que haya cerrado el parol y le pido a Dios que toque su corazón porque verdaderamente necesito llegar. Para mí ha sido muy duro eso de que Trump nos haya quitado el parol.
¡A mi esposa! ¡Ay! ¡Por favor! ¡Alguien que me venga a buscar!
Le entregó las llaves, le dijo que no se preocupara y 2 horas después, al salir, solo escuchaba los gritos de su mujer.
¡No! ¡No!
Arrestando personas inocentes que solo huyen de una dictadura, de una tiranía asesina comunista.
Tras la detención de la joven cubana Laura de la Caridad González Sánchez, líderes del movimiento anticomunista I-220A expresaron su apoyo.
Como movimiento legal en el estado de la Florida, necesitamos por favor que se tomen en cuenta que si no hemos cometido crimen, que tenemos nuestras vidas organizadas, nuestro asilo pendiente, que por favor no tenemos por qué vivir con este terror.
And to the Latinos that voted for Trump, I hope your cafecito always comes room temperature. I hope every sorullito that you go to take a bite of is like hollow when you expect cheese. I hope that every time you try to use that crazy illegal lane that Puerto Ricans use when there's a tapón, I hope every time you do that you get a little nail in your tire. Not that you have to replace it, but you have to patch it. I hope that every time you go to open your WhatsApp, it needs an update. I hope that every time you order a piña colada, it has more foamy stuff and so it feels warm. And you're like, that wasn't satisfying. I hope that every time you try to go to a yunque, it's raining too hard. I hope that the next round of pasteles you get accidentally has raisins in it. I hope that every time you go to Plaza de las Americas, you find a parking spot far away and then you walk right by like 3 open spots on your way to the door. I hope that they close all the buffets in your neighborhood. I hope that when you go reach for the mayo ketchup, it's empty. And you have to but it's still empty. I hope that every time you talk to your mom, she goes, ay, porque no puede ser más como Ricky Martin. Él es tan bello.
The stories you've heard today reflect a moment of deep reflection within Latino communities across the country. For many, shifting perspectives come from lived experiences, changing priorities, and the realities they're facing every day. These voices remind us that political choices are never simple. Each one is shaped by personal history, culture, and the search for a better future. Understanding these experiences helps all of us see the bigger picture and the challenges people are navigating. If you found these stories meaningful, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And click the video on your screen to hear more perspectives shaping today's America.